What's up guys, my name is Zero, and in today's video I just wanted to give you a quick little rundown on my first week impression of him. Now later this week I'll be giving a really detailed video about him, but I just wanted to give like a quick rundown on what I personally found out about him and what I personally like and dislike about him. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, first let's talk about his role on a team. His role on the team is purely tank. He is a support, officially stated by MiHoYo on the website. You can go look it up on the forum. I will leave a link to the forum um, in the description. But he is a support. Does that mean you can't use him as a DPS? No, but that's not his role, and you won't be using him at the best of his abilities. Now, the reason that most people say that they're underwhelmed with him is because, again, most people who test characters, test them at the level that most of the community is at. So most people, like me and my friends, we didn't go past level 60 ascended, and we didn't bring their weapons past that of world level 5, and we started world level 4 first, and then we went to world level 5 levels, because most people who play this game, most of the community, I would say about 95% of the community is free to play or low budget spenders. So low budget spenders and free to play players and casual players, they're not going to be at 45 plus army farming artifacts and whatnot. So doing maxing characters out on day one and testing them out and saying, oh, they're good because they're doing 100, 200k damage with maxed out artifacts and at C6 and a R5 weapon that's 5-star. Like, no, that's different than that's not what most of the community has, and we want to test out each character's abilities and ceilings at the levels at which most of the community is at. That's why most of the people who have tried him out says that he's underwhelming, because he can't provide that much for a low level player other than tankiness. Alright, now if you're thinking, hey, well, there's nothing wrong with tankiness, well, yes and no. You only want to go for tankiness if you have the sufficient amount of DPS on your team. Like, surviving is cool, but if you're surviving and doing no damage or not enough damage, you're not going to get to the next floor of Abyss and get your 6 stars and get your Primo Gems, which is what we're all striving for and shooting for. Now, Zhongli's best role is your tank when you have enough DPS. Like this team that I have him on now, I have a level 80 child with damn near maxed out artifacts. They're not maxed out yet, but they're going to be soon. With a Beto, with a maxed out weapon, maxed out artifacts, maxed out talents, and my Bennett who has more than enough healing. Now those 3 alone can carry my Zhongli, because my Zhongli, all he has to do is supply me a shield and give me crystallized with his pillar. That's all he has to do, and that's all he needs to do. If he has to do more and do extra DPS for my team because he doesn't, because the rest of my team doesn't have enough DPS, then I don't need Zhongli. I need another Jing Cho, because Jing Cho, he gives you the same thing that Zhongli gives you, but he gives you elemental reactions, which is what DPS thrives off on in this game. Like, you want most of your teams to have elemental reactions. If you don't have that hyper carry like Razor, Diluc, or Kaching to carry your team. Alright, for the record, nobody who says that Zhongli is underwhelming hate Zhongli. Like, I don't know one person who said he's underwhelming that doesn't like him. Now, we say he's underwhelming because none of the jobs that people want to give him or want him to do can be done better than a 4-star in his place other than Tankiness. Now, as I said earlier, most of the community is not at that DPS threshold where they can substitute damage for tankiness, because if you substitute your damage for tankiness, you won't be able to clear your abyss floors fast enough and move on to the next floor. So that's why we are saying that he's underwhelming. Now, when I say the words that Zhongli is underwhelming, that statement only applies to Spiral Abyss. He is really, really good in the overworld when it comes to elite bosses and domains and stuff, because that CC uh, and that damage is sufficient enough to clear domains and overworld. But when it comes to um, Spiral Abyss, he drastically underperforms in anything but tankiness. And again, as I said before, most people aren't at that point to where they can sub out their sub DPS for a tank. Most people in this community are not at the point to where they can sub out a main DPS, a sub DPS for a tank. I'm AR 49 and I'm not even at that point, and I've been farming artifacts ever since AR 40, and I've just gotten to the point to where I have the right artifact sets on all of my characters. I haven't even gotten them leveled up yet. So again, the thought of him being underwhelming only applies to Spiral Abyss. So you can use him in Overworld as a main DPS or a tank or a sub DPS. That's perfectly fine. Do what you want. We are trying to help people clear Abyss and clear Abyss easier. That's all. We're not trying to diss Zhongli. We love Zhongli. We want him to be better for everybody, not just people who are at the DPS threshold right now. That's it. Now, later this week, I will be posting another video that will be a lot more detailed on sets that we found were very productive, comps that where he was very productive even without that DPS threshold, and so on and so forth. So if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, as I will be posting that video this weekend. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.